sorry. Along with the coffee. Coffee is probably number one.
Hey everybody, happy Wednesday and welcome to another Techstrong TV broadcast. We are live at Innotech Austin, no, Innotech Dallas. I forgot where I was there for a second. And we have a great lineup on today's show. We are live streaming some of these sessions from Innotech Dallas all day today. We also have a couple interviews here and there, but we do have a special keynote that we're going to be starting the day off with. It is the keynote presentation from the Red Hat Summit that is happening concurrently with Innotech. So we're going to have that streaming in about 10 minutes or so for you. And then we've got, as I said, a full day's lineup of sessions that we are going to be streaming, as well as a couple interviews. We actually get things kicked off with a presentation by Stephanie Chiras and Chris Wright from Red Hat. That is the keynote that I said. At 9 o'clock Eastern, no, actually, it's 9 o'clock Central Time, we've got Shannon Mullins from Accelerant. She's got a presentation titled 10 Ways to Automate and Secure Your Organizations with Teams and SharePoint. That's going to be a great one. After that, I come back. I've got a nice presentation or an Innotech video for you, and then I have a conversation with Jonathan Serta, who is a cloud sales engineer over at Sysdig. He and I are going to be talking about defending the metaverse. What a great topic. I am super excited to have a conversation with him about this because he's talking about the metaverse these days, but nobody seems to understand exactly how to secure it properly. So Jonathan and I talk about ways in which organizations can approach that. It's going to be a great conversation. After that, we have another presentation. This one is from Gopi Kakanda, who is with Alinity Technology Solutions. And Gopi talks about the future of data engineering, challenges and roadmaps. Certainly a very relevant topic of conversation for a lot of organizations. I'm back and I have another interview. This one is with George Finney, who is in the computer science department at SMU. And he and I'm really excited about this one. The topic of his presentation is called Hacking Your Brain for Better Cybersecurity. So he and I are going to talk about just exactly what that means. I'm sure that is going to be a great conversation as well. After that, we go back to our presentations. We've got one from Nancy Koblenz, who is with Act One Group, and Nick Juntia, who is with OwnerFi. They're going to be talking about the misconceptions of crypto and NFTs, how they affect our daily lives, and definitely another one of those topics that a lot of people are talking about, but maybe don't understand it as well as they could. So Want to check out that presentation for sure. Then we have another presentation. This one, the next one is from Matt Tesaro with No, and he's going to be talking about API security. Specifically, his presentation is titled Peeling the Onion, Making Sense of the Layers of API Security. Another great one there. After that, we have our final presentation of the day. It's from Dave Nielsen with Harness, and he talks about testing in production with continuous delivery and feature flags. For those of you in the DevOps space, feature flags and continuous delivery are both topics of high interest. And hopefully you're using feature flags in your production environment. If not, in your testing environment. If not, definitely a technology you want to check out. We have a full lineup, as I said, and again, we're going to get a live broadcast of the keynote presentation from the Red Hat Summit starting up in about 4 minutes or so. So I hope you'll stick around for the entirety. And if you if you're in the Dallas area and you're just now seeing this, pop on over. Let's say hello together. We are at the Irving Convention Center, and we're going to be here all day. But if you don't make it and you want to check out some other sessions after today's event, we are going to be doing a best of InnoTech live or virtual event later in the year. So you won't miss everything if you don't join us today, but hopefully you will stick around for today's events here on Techstrong TV. We're going to be back in just a few minutes with that Red Hat Summit keynote, and hopefully you'll stick around, and I'll see you back after the summit.
love finding out how new technologies work. Work has gone hybrid. Should our clouds be hybrid too? Too much complexity is a challenge for my customers. My customers want to know how.
Machine learning,
Kubernetes,
edge computing,
cloud security,
DevOps, automation.
How will any of these help us work better? Better teams consider more perspectives. Every perspective shapes the future of enterprise IT. Welcome to Red Hat Summit 2022.
Awkward, are we gonna hug or handshake or fist bump or forms we offer so that your geniuses can transform your business? We followed those with our live Ask the Expert sessions, where both virtual and in-person attendees asked Red Hat experts questions about products, use cases, and more. And then we launched more than 80 on-demand sessions covering 9 different tracks. Well, we've got a lot for you today. Let's get started by going back to February. I'm sitting in the passenger seat of my own car, staring at the driver, my heart's pounding, palms sweating, wondering, have we made the wrong decision? Are we going to survive? Just so you understand, the car's not moving. We haven't even left the driveway. The driver is my 16-year-old daughter, Ione, and this is our first driving lesson. And I'm the terrified dad. In truth, I really shouldn't be that scared. First off, I have no doubt my daughter will be a responsible driver, and the car she's about to drive is very safe. And second, Red Hat is partnering with automobile manufacturers to mesh physical and digital components to safer cars, as you heard yesterday in Matt's keynote. So I know all the care going into vehicle production these days. The car she's driving is actually a no-nonsense one that lacks many of the self-driving capabilities that are making headlines today. Nevertheless, the car's still pretty smart. And I really like the features that reduce distracted driving accidents. Squirrel, visual and auditory alerts for lane changes, cameras for backing up, and pre-collision braking systems. And I hope these work for my daughter. And cars are only going to get smarter as they continue to transition to be more software-defined and expand beyond the borders of the physical car itself. Which gets at what I want to talk about today. A vision of how distributed systems, blending physical and virtual worlds, are creating richer insights so that enterprises can be smarter, secure, and sustainable. And like me, maybe a little less terrified. So now, let's expand on everything you've heard so far at Summit. You'll hear how we are helping industries harness emerging technologies by using our hybrid cloud approach. And in case you're wondering, I'm not talking about VR goggles or the metaverse. I'm talking about how physical machines, intelligent devices, and remote platforms are integrating with computing systems to change what we believe is possible, so that we can help our people make smarter decisions, IT systems more secure, and operations more sustainable. My goal is to reimagine what's possible so that you can build the future. Now let's talk about what gets in the way of building the future you want by focusing on 4 areas: adaptability, software, data and AI, and security. Think about how you felt back in 2020 when the lockdown hit. Were you nervous? Panicked? Apprehensive, like me, in the passenger seat of my car? Social interactions were grinding to a halt, but IT was speeding up. Many CIOs were given a weekend to move all employees to remote work situations. And one CIO told me that if she hadn't started moving workloads to the cloud and shored up her security profile before the pandemic, she probably would have been fired within a month. Now, she kept her job, and she was ahead of the game and led her organization through the pandemic. Your ability to be agile and adapt in the face of unprecedented change will continue to determine your success. This enterprise adaptability can cut both ways: technology as a way to adapt and your ability to adapt to technology. Using technology and adapting to change, we see enterprises striving to differentiate themselves through software, which means you're all becoming technology companies. The majority of executives surveyed say that digitization of their core businesses is essential to remaining economically viable. As a software company, we know this is hard. Picking the right tools, enabling choice and flexibility. Now, it's not just about software, it's also about data. As I mentioned last year, we're expecting 175 zettabytes of data being generated by 2025. That's a lot of data, right? So how much of that is actually getting used? Only about 30%. Imagine that. 70% of your data is dropped on the floor. What insights might you be missing? Today, cybersecurity is top of mind in every business, all the way to the boardroom. And it should be. Gartner predicts that by 2025, 45%, nearly half of organizations worldwide, will have experienced an attack on their software supply chain, a threefold increase from 2021. You'll notice half the lights in the cityscape on the screens are still lit, and half have gone dark. Which side of the risk equation are you on? When I speak with customers, the realities I just mentioned can be summarized in this one question. Technology is moving really fast. The world is changing so quickly. How can I make the right bets on new technologies to build the future I want? The distributed nature of the future is hybrid, in data centers, in clouds, on the edge. This is complex, hard work. We're here to help. Red Hat, along with our partner ecosystem, will take on these challenges with you, catalyst for change, and bridge to harnessing new technologies today, not tomorrow. Because as William Gibson said, the future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed. Let's start laying the foundation so that you can build that future you want. Do you remember when you first used a smartphone? I do, and I thought it was pretty awesome because my phone and my music player were now one device that could fit in my pocket. Because the apps were pretty rudimentary, I generally preferred my laptop. Now, what about the cloud? Do you remember the first time you heard about it? First time I heard about it, I thought it was pure hype to rebrand virtualization. While the technology